Well, good morning from unfortunately my last day in Fukuoka. The more I've stayed here, the more I've actually gotten to like it, and more. It's a really lovely city. So I'm heading down to Hakata station now, where I'm going to catch my bus, my 4-hour bus journey to Kagoshima. It's hot. Now I'm going to check around the bus station to see if there's a convenience store, because obviously I have to get something to eat. It's a 4-hour bus journey. They usually have them beside the stations, but we'll see. Just taking in this last view of the street that I've walked down many times here. I'll miss it. I might have to come back. And the hostel was fantastic as well. Fukuoka guest house camp. If you're ever in Fukuoka, I'd highly recommend staying there if you're looking for a hostel. They've got 4 other sister companies, hostels around, so yeah, highly recommend checking them out. Bye bye Fukuoka. I did get a sandwich and a drink. I should be fine for the train journey, bus journey, not a train. Let's go. Welcome to Kagoshima, home of samurai and fire. And you might be asking, what do you mean home of fire? Take a look at this. In the distance there you have Sakurajima. Isn't that massive? Clouds on top. Sakurajima is actually one of the most active volcanoes on Earth. It erupts hundreds and hundreds of times a year. And the locals here are so used to it that even the children, when they go to school, most of the time they actually have hard hats in their bags. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely massive. Now, it could be erupting right now. Maybe it's not cloud. As a matter of fact, it probably is erupting right now. The locals don't even take much notice of it anymore. Isn't that crazy? Imagine being a kid and going to school with a hard hat in your bag. Oh, insane. Anyway, also Kagoshima is the land of the samurai, because here, back in the 1800s, way back, the Satsuma clan were in charge. And Satsuma clan were very important in shaping this region, the actual Kyushu Islands, and Japan as we know it today. Very influential. And actually, they had a samurai which you may have heard of. But maybe the name doesn't really do it for you. His name was Saigo Takamori. The Saigo Takamori is actually the inspiration for the story The Last Samurai. Maybe you've seen the movie with Tom Cruise. I haven't, but I know the story. So this place is steeped with history. Not only that, it's also got some food that it's very famous for. So the whole Kagoshima area is very known for its sweet potatoes. Apparently it's called the capital of sweet potato in Japan. That even the black pork that it's also known for, it's a certain type of pig that's bred here. Those pigs are fed sweet potato along with their regular food. They even make alcohol with it. The region's famous for a soju kind of alcohol that's made with sweet potato. Oh, insane. But, you know, whatever about those kind of foods, there is some other food here in Kagoshima that has really piqued my interest, just because of how weird it is. The food is called tori sashimi. Now, sashimi is raw cuts of tin meat. You've probably heard it from different types of sushi. You often get like tuna or salmon sashimi. This tori sashimi is raw chicken. You heard that right, raw chicken. So if I find somewhere that's selling, which I'm sure I will, this place is known for it, I suppose I'll have to try some, won't I? And if I do, maybe this is the last video I ever make. Who knows? Either for the fact that the chicken has killed me, in revenge for it being killed, or I've reached a peak then. There's nothing more you can do that's more adventurous than eating raw chicken, really. you're taught in school and you're taught at home, like raw chicken is the most dangerous food you can eat basically in a regular country, like not including all these mad mushrooms and stuff like that, you know. Raw chicken is so dangerous usually, but no, it's a delicacy over here. So I checked into my hostel, nice big spacious capsules that you're in. I asked the girl at the reception, I said, look, I'm interested in this tori sashimi thing. I said, first of all, have you tried it? She said, yeah, very delicious. I said, okay. I said, well, can you recommend somewhere? So she gave me, I have it somewhere in my bag here, she gave me a little business card for a small little izakaya that sells it. So if it's not too crowded there today, I'll try it. If not, I'll have it tomorrow. But for now, we're just gonna head into like the main area. Look at that backdrop, isn't that incredible? Obviously it doesn't come across on camera as well as if you're in person, but it's just the sheer size of it. Oh. Anyway, we're going to take a little walk around. Tomorrow I've got a few plans. Maybe check out a couple of historical areas where the last samurai kind of story revolved around, if we can find something for that. Basically just go with the flow. Actually, behind this you might see that there's land behind as the volcano comes down, and that's because in 1914 there was a big eruption and it connected the volcano to the land there. The lava dried or whatever, you know, created like a volcanic layer between the island and the landmass itself. So yeah, just crazy. Let's go check out the city. Just walking towards the Tenmontown area now. I think that's kind of the area where everything is like centrally located. But the bus journey here was pretty good. We were delayed a couple of times from stopping at a service station just because there was no parking at the stations. We had 2 stops then in the end, so it was fine. 4 hours altogether, but really it felt quite quick. I've just got to the area that I want to come to, and I realised I had to pop into a 7-Eleven. First of all, to get cash. Second of all, I'm dehydrated, so I was going to get a bottle of Pocari Sweat. The usual, you know. However, when I went in there, I looked in the fridge and I saw a new flavour of that similar type of like electrolyte drink. I think it's cherry. I don't know, I think it's some other fruit that's similar to a cherry. But it's really good, and I hate cherries, but I love cherry flavour. Isn't that strange? I don't know, it's just me. It's the same with mangoes. I don't like mango at all. I really don't like it. But I like mango flavoured stuff. I don't know. It's a bit strange. So this is kind of like the downtown area, if you want to say that. Something like that, yeah. Downtown. You know, loads of bars, loads of places to eat. I'm sure on the weekend this place is absolutely hopping, but right now it's Thursday afternoon, so you know, it's still quiet enough. Probably gets busy still, even a weekday afternoon or weekday evening. I'm not crossing until it's my turn. See, even when there's no green man here, you kind of have to follow the traffic directions, you know. We just take a little walk along and see what's going on. It's not that many people out on the streets. Probably come across a few maid cafes. Anytime you find it, don't know what that beeping is. Anytime you find this downtown type of area, you'll find a few maid cafes and a few seedy looking clubs, you know. But sure, that's all part of Japan's charm. And you always come across this, like for example, stacks of different signs for different businesses, different clubs, and that's because like you might find a club on the 6th floor somewhere, you know what I mean? So it's, they really make the most of the space that they've got available. Actually, I've taken a turn. I've decided I came up from the left there, and when you come in, it turns out the part I was walking along just there is kind of the outskirts of it. So when you come in here, you've got this different colour paved road, not so much traffic, few cars coming up, but a lot of places are closed actually at the moment. I guess some of them, if you search some of these places on the Google Maps, if you type in like just say ramen restaurants as an example, you find a lot of them might not open until about 8 p.m. Now they will stay open until about 2 a.m. so you know, it's not as if they open late, close early, it's nothing like that. Nice car. Now I don't know why, but for some reason I thought like Kagoshima, because it's not as popular with tourists, just because it's way down south in Kyushu, that there wouldn't be anywhere like this, you know. This reminds me of like Shibuya or something, you know what I mean? But no, it's obviously a very popular spot. Coming around these cities, you'll always find these shopping arcades like this. This is lovely with the lovely little roof that they've got going on, lovely ceiling. But they always end up having the same stuff, so they'll have souvenir shops obviously, but they'll also have their doctors and shoe shops along the way. So I mean, when you see one, you've seen them all, but there's a little charm. There is a charm about going around these places. You'll always find Matsumoto Kiyoshi. Always, that's where everyone goes for their tax-free pharmacy shopping. A lot of Chinese tourists or Koreans come over, you know. That still leads you down to where I came from a few minutes ago, that seedy district. I swear I won't go into any of those clubs, I promise. I've already done the Maid Cafe once, didn't like it, wouldn't do it again. It's kind of a weird experience, you know. First of all, it's kind of pushy when you're walking down the street and they're trying to hand you the leaflets. I spoke about that when I was in Tokyo in the other videos, but yeah, it's I don't know, I guess it's fun, you know, it's kind of a gimmick, but at the same time it is a bit weird. I'm almost at the little izakaya. Just basically want to see how busy it is, that's all. Where will I go? Will I go right or left? Yeah, I'll go left. You always see these as well. Now these, as far as I know, very important in Japan. They're like the little stamps that you need. They're your own signature stamp for certain like official documents and, you know, all this kind of official stuff. You need that stamp. You need a personalised one. Now that's all as far as I know. I could be slightly wrong about that, but I know it's a very important thing. So, which is kind of very old fashioned, isn't it? Having your own like stamp. I think the place I'm looking for is down here somewhere. It's not a steakhouse, I know that. So I just came out of Yokoban, and while I'm trying to get my head around the fact that I just ate raw chicken, I want to at least say that Reina, the woman that works there, is absolutely lovely. She's so nice, real friendly. Apparently Yokoban in Kagoshima dialect actually means a wonderful night, so it's a good name for a little izakaya. But I tell you, it was so busy, and when I went in, she was telling me it's actually the anniversary of their opening, so yeah, it was really cool. I have to say the atmosphere was fantastic. Like, the chicken was just, it's so strange eating raw chicken. It's just so weird in your head, you know. And I got this like little tofu and bonito flakes, which are dried tuna flakes, like in a bowl. And you know what's going on over here. some opening of a shop, it looks like. So it's hard to even explain what it was like, you know? Like, raw chicken, that whole idea is so foreign to me. Raw chicken with like a bit of onion, some garlic and ginger that you mix into the soy sauce, sweet soy sauce. Yeah, I don't know. It's just raw chicken. Well, I've done it now, and I can't believe I'm also gonna say like that wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. Like the texture was, it was a bit like tougher. You know, if you get like tuna sashimi, you know the way it's nice. It's kind of creamy, but it's soft. Well, this is like that if it was chewier. Not much chewier, but a little bit chewier. Just can't believe I had it. Like, and then like I got this little mixed, like the local sweet potato sauce. So it's basically just a sweet potato liquor. But I can't believe I had it. I just can't believe it. It's weird. It's so bloody weird. So I'm gonna go back there tomorrow now. It's not even 6 p.m. yet. They only start doing like their other foods at 6 p.m. But that, because there's no cooking involved, it's pretty easy. The barbecue stuff and all of the other famous stuff that this place is known for, like the black pork, that stuff is done later. So I said to her, look, I'll come back tomorrow, and she said, yeah, here's the Instagram, just let me know. We open from 3. So yeah, I have to go back. It was so nice in there. The atmosphere was just amazing. It's great when you find somewhere like that. We're going to make our way up just around to the right hand side here to a very important shrine here in Kagoshima. Now I can never quite get over how impressive these torii gates are when you enter into a shrine area. It's just something like the size of them. I know I say that for about a lot of things, but honestly, until you're here standing underneath it, well, it's absolutely gigantic. It's hard to put it into words, especially when it's just like, you know, it's just at the top of a main street here. Really cool. So here we are, just past the big torii gate. Come up to Terakuni Shrine. And Terakuni Shrine is actually not that old in comparison to a lot of shrines around Japan. Actually, it's only, what, 160 years old or something, so very, very new compared to most shrines around Japan. But it's very important here because it's actually dedicated to a feudal lord that used to live here. Pretty nice here. Anyway, Shimazu Nariakiri, he's at the time he was actually a pretty forward-thinking leader. He was actually the one that brought in Western technology into Japan. Kagoshima was one of the first places to actually adapt to Western technology, so he's such a big force. You know, he's a big historical figure here. I just love how you can hear like all the insects chirping away and stuff, even though you're a 2-minute walk from this big city right ahead. You know, straight up there you've got that busy area that I walked through, but yeah, it's something about it. It's lovely, really nice. And no, I did have to write down his name. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. There's no way I could remember that off the top of my head, but I just made like a little notes on my phone with his name, just so that I wouldn't get it wrong. There's no point in me just saying, oh well, there was this feudal warlord. I mean, he did a lot, you know, he did push Kagoshima forward, so he deserves to at least have his name mentioned for what he did. And just around here, the little entranceway that brings you to the bottom of these steps, got this huge statue of him. Nice couple of old buildings here, little shrine here as well. These lanterns, well, I don't actually know if they get lit up at night. There's a lot of shrines that you go around, and nowadays it's just they're left as empty stone lanterns, but when they're lit up it is lovely when there's like a walkway and they're on both sides. But yeah. Now, after China were defeated by Britain in the Opium Wars back in the 1840s, he was worried that Japan would be next to be colonised, which is why he wanted the idea of a united Japan to happen. Unfortunately, he didn't live long enough to see it happen, but his younger brother carried it on, and other members of the Satsuma clan, like Saigo, the last samurai, they continued on his dream, and eventually Japan was united. Of course, just unfortunate that a modern thinking kind of guy like him wasn't around to see it succeed. As you saw, I washed my hands coming in, just because I was going to be walking around the temple and talking, and like right up at the entrance of it I said, look, it's more respectful to just follow the traditions. It's quite warm now, there's no wind, dead heat. I thought, like, you know, I'm down at the south coast basically. I really thought if anything it would be windier here than even in Fukuoka, but no, nothing. Real calm, which is not making for comfortable walking around, but I can deal with that. Still get around and go and see these nice sights. Now, I wasn't going to come here till tomorrow because I actually thought it was in a different direction, but I saw a sign for it and I said, you know what, let's come along. This is Kagoshima Castle Ruin. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, unlike the castles in, just say, Osaka, Himeji, even, yeah, I guess even Okayama, that castle's nice. The Shimazu clan didn't actually build the castle to look big and impressive. They built a smaller castle, and it was only for the purpose of governance, really. But this place is actually more known for the Satsuma Rebellion. More specifically, the last samurai, Saigo Takamori, because it was here that he died in a battle. And after he died, after that battle, the whole place was burned down, and all that stands now, the original, is the stone walls and the stone bridge. Everything else burned down. It's quite interesting. For me. Maybe for you. I hope for you. So I just happened to be walking somewhere. I thought this was the way to Saigo Takamori's death site. But yeah, I don't really see an awful lot. I see, you probably see it better because the brightness cranks up the ISO. Man, if my phone battery dies now, I am well and truly screwed. How much battery's left? Ah, I'm okay for now. Oh my god, it's so creepy. This looks better. This is like the mountains. What does this say? The observatory's up there. Okay. Don't really want to go up to the observatory today. Oh. Yeah. You know what? Let's go back. Remember earlier on I looked at that statue and I said I don't know who that is, but it's a nice statue. Yeah, I think I said it's a nice statue. I'm saying it now. But remember I said I don't know who it is. Anyway, I found out, according to a little signpost back there that pointed me in the direction of it, that is Saigo Takamori, the last samurai. So there you go. Now you know. Now I know. Now we both know. Well, I'm gonna head back to the hostel now. Sorry for the ambulance. Yeah, it's an ambulance. Sorry for the noise of that. But that was a pretty successful first day, I think. You know, getting a nice view of the volcano, Kagoshima, across the bay. Trying a very interesting new food. Man, I still can't believe that I ate raw chicken. It's so weird. But I've lived so far to tell the tale. And you know, if anything happens to me, Reina, she is the boss of the izakaya. It's your fault. No, very good. Great service, lovely people, good atmosphere. Couldn't have really asked for anything more. The ambulance just followed me around. So yeah, I'm gonna walk through this park. Not that it's big. Go over this little bridge. I'll make my way back to the hostel, have a shower, have a little sleep, a big sleep, a normal sleep, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I've got a few things planned for tomorrow. It's supposed to be a nice day, weather-wise, maybe a bit too nice. Yeah, we'll see how things go anyway. I'll give you a little hint. We'll be taking a trip over to the Volcano Island, that's for sure. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.